Hi friends, thanks for checking out my video blog. Derek Q. Sanders here. What I want to talk about tonight, sometimes a lady will ask me, what advice do I give to men? Usually it's a lady that thinks that I'm picking on women, so she wants me to pick on the fellas too. And in those cases, it's usually a lady that's kind of reading into my post something that I didn't say. Because if you check out my post, I don't pick on ladies at all. Actually, I'm actually extremely hard on men, very hard on men, because I think that the primary responsibility of relationships falls on the men. So usually what I'm doing is I'm talking to ladies about men, and I'm talking about which types of men that ladies should stay away from. That's usually the approach that I take. But in any case, I do give advice to men on my Facebook page. If you notice in social media, typically when you talk about love and relationships, your audiences are going to be predominantly women. So I speak to my audience. I speak primarily to women because that's primarily who responds to me. The other thing is I speak to women because I think in our particular or in our popular culture, ladies are not really valued enough, not really esteemed enough. There's more than a fair share of objectification of women, devaluing of women. So I try to take the other approach and I try to offer hope to women. But anyway, in saying all of that, I do offer advice to men. As a matter of fact, I was working with a group of young college men tonight, dealing with those young men on manhood. And one of the things that we talked about tonight was accountability. And I was talking to them, telling them that men um, need to be accountable to other men. And we need to have men in our lives, um, men, not just a man, but men. And we need to be accountable. I have several men that several different good friends of mine that I'm accountable to. It's not that we sat down and we decided to be accountable to one another, but as men, it's almost like a natural thing. So anyway, I was talking to these young men about being accountable, because regardless of whether you're a good man or a bad man, good men are going to have other good men in their lives that they're accountable to. So if if brother's slipping, doing some things that he haven't doesn't have any business doing, and even if it's not anything necessarily bad, but he's just not living up to the standard that he should be, those other men in his life are going to pull his coattail. Those other men in his life are going to encourage, they're going to give him that nudge he needs, and they're going to encourage him to do the things that he needs to do. They're going to be a support system. Then when you have those men who are not good men, they're going to also have a group of other men. I don't even know if I want to call it that they're accountable to, but they're going to have other men that support them and encourage them in their foolishness. So I was talking to those young college gentlemen about accountability and about having men in your life that hold you accountable for living the way you should live, doing the things that you should do. And things that I'm talking to them about is being an older man, talking to younger men, is about how to treat you ladies, to date with a purpose, and that purpose ultimately being marriage. Those are the things that I talk to men about. That's the advice that I give men. I don't do it a lot on Facebook again because men don't typically respond to that type of stuff on Facebook. That's the majority of my interaction. The people that inbox me overwhelmingly are ladies. So that's my audience on Facebook, on social media. But again, the advice that I do give advice to men. Actually, I'll be giving advice to men this weekend. I'll be on a panel this weekend here. So I have advice to men, and I tell men the same things, the things that I talk about on Facebook to you ladies. Men read those things. Actually, I have some good brothers that are on my Facebook page that chime in, that respond here and there. The other thing is too, is when I'm asked that, it's ladies that are asking that because you want me to give advice to men who really don't care about what I'm talking about. They're not interested in what I'm talking about. Those guys that are knuckleheads, the busters, They have no interest in what I'm talking about. And even if they do hear what I'm talking about, 9 times out of 10, they're not interested. It's not going to make any difference to them because those men are not the type of men that are going to be accountable because they benefit the way they are. And some of those men are in relationships with good women and they're reaping all of the benefits that they want out of those relationships and they have no reason to listen to me. They're not interested in what I'm talking about. They're not interested in changing their ways. They're not interested in becoming better men, so they're not going to listen to me anyway. My advice to you, which is what I post on social media, is to avoid those men, because even if I talk to them again, if they have no interest in being honorable men, they don't care what I'm talking about. If they just want to sleep with women and take advantage of women and those types of things, and women are making themselves available for those men to do those things, whatever I say is not going to make any difference one way or the next. All right. So yes, I do offer advice to men. I offer advice to men that are accountable. Those other men, not interested in what I'm talking about. And my advice to you ladies is to talk to men who are already good men. Those are not men that I have to try to sway, or you would have to try to sway to change their ways. Those are men that seek out information. Those are men who want to be better men, and they're doing what they need to do to be better men anyway. All right. And again, that's not to say that I don't have anything to say to them, because as I just said, I do have something to say to them. But usually when I'm asked that question, it's because somebody thinks that I'm picking on women, and I'm not. And they want me to talk to some knucklehead who's not going to listen to me. All right. So that's what I have to say about that, ladies and gentlemen who are watching. Thanks for listening. Be back next Wednesday and check me out. We'll have something else to talk about. If we're not friends on social media, follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/Derek Q Sanders, DEREKQ Sanders, or facebook.com/Righteous Men, just like on this YouTube channel, WRITEOUS Men, or you can find me on my website, www.DerekQ Sanders, DEREKQ Sanders. I write a blog there once a week, every Monday. So follow me in any of those places, on Twitter at Derek Q Sanders. All right, thank you, folks. Have a great night.